Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. If something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it. I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. You want to have a future where you're expecting things to be better, not one where you're expecting things to be worse. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop, where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. The lessons of history would suggest that civilizations move in cycles. You can track that back quite far. I think life on Earth must be about more than just solving problems. It's got to be something inspiring, even if it is vicarious. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop, where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. Great companies are built on great products. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. It's very important to like the people you work with, otherwise your job is going to be quite miserable. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. The best investment you can make is in yourself. The stock market is filled with individuals who know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Buy into a company because you want to own it, not because you want the stock to go up. Never invest in a business you cannot understand. Only buy something that you'd be perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. The key to investing is not assessing how much an industry is going to affect society or how much it will grow, but rather determining the competitive advantage of any given company and, above all, the durability of that advantage. Never count on making a good sale. Have the purchase price be so attractive that even a mediocre sale gives good results. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. You can't make a good deal with a bad person. Time is the friend of the wonderful business, the enemy of the mediocre. Wall Street is the only place that people ride to in a Rolls-Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything.